Yeah, let's start, guys. Now, please settle down and go on mute. Now, I want to tell you one thing very interesting about uh, if statements. You remember that? Let's go back to this. Yeah, this is the code actually. I think, yeah, this is the code. Okay, so see this now. Uh, this is the code we had prepared last time, right? Where we talked about the multiple conditions. Elif and I also threw some light on how to keep the indentation and how to not get confused between the indentations. And I hope everything had made a sense to you by now. Now, I want to pay attention here. I want you to pay attention here on one very delicate point that remember I was using the word called block, right? Like for example, I was telling you that this is a block and this is a block. So here we have to keep the indentations in proper order. And it doesn't matter that how you have kept the indentation in the other block, but generally we keep the indentation in the same order, right? I mean, in the same sequence so that the code should be more readable. Anyways, so now you see, I'm going to change this code. This is the same program we have created, right? But what happens, guys, if I try to create these if functions in this way? For example, I don't want to put here elif. Okay, I want to keep these functions in this if statements in this way. So I go and write here else, and then let's say I go and write here that uh, it's first if block. Okay, for example, first if block for else. Okay, and so I'm just keeping everything in the proper indentation, and then we are starting another if from here. You know that, right? So maybe I can put some dots over here, let's say, and just to give you the clarity on this. Okay, okay. Now here also I want to put actually one more if. I mean different if. So you see that what I'm actually doing is that I'm creating separate if blocks. Okay, these are all these all ifs are different from each other. They're not related. They are all different families, right? Because the moment the else is written, after that whatever you write, that is a different if, that is a different block. Okay, so second if block for else. Now these are all things I'm trying to clear your concepts. Okay, they may right now make any practical sense, right? If you're trying to imagine this, that you know how I'm going to use this in practical situation. But when as I said that as we move ahead, we keep on using these concepts. But right now, it is important that we should understand these things. Okay, the concepts. So, just for your clarity, I'm again going to put here some hash. Okay, so you see, we have here how many if? We have here one if. The if starts from here actually, and this is a complete if block, right? This is a different if, right? And then there's another one, right? Which is this one. So we have basically three if statements here. Okay. Now your score is 50, right? Your score is 50. I'm going to again do the same thing. I'm going to say here 40 and 70. Okay. So you know that now what happens. This is also the same if and this is also the same if, right? So when I execute this, what is going to happen? And I just for the better readability, I put every print statement in the same indentation. Okay, now I'm going to run this. This is 4.0. Okay, let's run this and let's see that what we are going to get here. See this now. Oh, there are a lot of things we're getting here. Now that's what I want to clear. You see, you're getting here first answer, first if block for else, then you're getting waiting, we will inform you, reattempt. Oh boy, you are getting so many statements run here, right? So what about that, uh, the clause, my own statement which said that if once the if is executed, whether it is a true area or a false area, it never goes back to any other if condition, right? But here you can see that first if block is coming from the first if block, this one. And then the code is not stopping, it's again going in the second if block also, isn't it? And then further, there is a reattempt also, as you can see here. Got the point? So what is happening here? That's what I want to talk about it. You see, it also depends the way how you actually structuring the things, how you are writing the if conditions. Okay, now in this case, what happens when you execute this, the quiz score is taken by the Python as 50. Okay, now is 50 actually greater than 70? No, it is not. Then obviously the code will go in the else. In the else, the very first line with the code will print is the first if block, which you can see here. But now, because there is a more code written below this, so your Python will go and check this as well. Because remember, for this particular if, we cannot execute both this area and this area. No, never. And this is what I was talking. If condition, if the condition meets, you will have this condition executed, but then our pointer will never go here. We will never have this executed. Either this or this, right? Else or this area, then area. But you know, this if is different. So the code has to differently go down. This is not elif. That's the big difference, right? So code further goes and check if the score is between 40 and 70. Now the score is 50. So the code has already printed this, but since it is a different if, so the code will go and then print these two lines also. And again, then after the code has printed these lines, it will never execute this else area, because it has already executed the then area of this if. Got the point? But then the code goes down and code finds there is another statement now. There is another if written. Okay, so again, then it checks the things and it will execute. That's the point I wanted to clear, right? But in the previous code, if you remember, in over here, where we have written the elif, here you never find that if this line is going to be executed, you will never see this line also executed. Never. Neither this line. Because this if is a single family, right? Here, if I execute this particular area, then immediately code will go and finish. I mean, it will never touch these lines, right? If I try to run this, let me select this control A and let me run this 3.0. You see that here we have only one output, which is waiting, and we will inform you. So it also depends that what type of what is the structure of the if you, the layout of the if you have written. Now we are not here debating that this is bad and that is good, okay? But you should know both the things. You know, in the coming sessions, you find that sometimes we have to check the things again and again for different outputs, for different results. And then finally, what we do is we always like to have those results, you know, gathered somewhere. So in that case, we can use these if conditions separately. This is a different family, this is a different family, this is a different family, right? However, in these families, this, as I said, this and this both can't be executed. This is a then area, this is a else area. I mean, if the condition happens to be true, then what? So if this gets executed, this will never get executed. The rules remains the same. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed this, and this again has have made you fundamentally very strong in Python if conditions. Thank you.